everyone, I'm Allie Bidwell, the Assistant University News Editor at the Daily Californian, and welcome to the second annual ASUC Presidential Candidate Roundtable discussion. We'll be asking a series of questions that the candidates have not seen before that cover a wide range of campus and university issues. We invited all 4 presidential candidates to join us, and today we'll be hearing from current CalServe Senator and independent presidential candidate Stefan Montouth and Defend Affirmative Action Party candidate Lauren Ballard. Student Action candidate Vaishali Lumba and Squelch candidate Emily Carlton declined our invitation. Without further ado, let's begin the discussion. So first off, if each of you could just briefly describe why you want to be ASUC president.
Okay, so I'm looking at this position really from more of a leadership standpoint than a political standpoint, in which I think that we're in the midst of a really in a crisis right now with our educational system that's not just affecting us, but the CSUs and the junior colleges and the entire California educational system. And I believe that here at Berkeley that we have a lot of strength to sort of spearhead a movement, like a strong, positive, integrated movement opposing those cuts. And that if we were to lead this and sort of include the CSUs and the junior colleges and even the high schools around in the community area, that we would have a really strong force to be contended with. And I think that the ASUC can be an organizing and unifying force to sort of begin that movement. Yeah.
Well, I think it's important to realize that there's a lot of key issues going on campus this year, and a lot of those issues are actually taking effect next year. So you have operational excellence in the implementation phases starting next year. You have the lower spiral redevelopment process starting next year. Eshelman will be the first to come down, and a lot of implications with that. Also, we have different things like the 2012 admissions policy, which it's questionable what that effect is going to have on, whether or not it's going to increase or decrease diversity on campus. That's something that's very concerning. So there's a lot of different issues, a lot of them that are starting next year. So it's going to be a crucial year to have folks who have had experience dealing with these different issues and really able to bring students on board and involved in the process at the very least informed about what's going on. And I feel like I have a lot of ideas about how to do so, and I feel like I have a lot of experience with doing so.
Okay. And then how would each of you interpret the role of the president within the ASUC?
I mean, well, I interpret the role, obviously it says in the Constitution that it's supposed to be the chief representative of the association, which I interpret to be a representative of all students on campus. And that includes really reaching out to students for feedback, as well as dealing with the administration on behalf of the students. I also think it's important to, at many points throughout the year, to somehow bridge that gap between students and administration and not just make it be student representatives speaking on behalf of students. I think that's important, but at the same time, students should be able to direct any concerns directly to the administration. So that's what I feel like the role of the president is.
I really agree with you with that. I guess just the only thing that I would add to that, because I think that's all good, is just really being involved as a leader for the student body on campus and really working like consistently throughout the year to get student voice, to get student feedback on here's what we're doing. Let's hold a discussion with our student body, with whoever wants to come, to get feedback on how are we going to approach these issues, like the redevelopment, like the admissions policy, like the budget cuts, and then we're going to take in those ideas. We're gonna organize within the student body, and then we're gonna also work within the administration.
Okay. So you both mentioned operational excellence and student involvement and representation. How would you go about maintaining a level of student representation with operational excellence going on?
Well, I think having a student voice within the Operational Excellence Board is important. But like I said before, I don't think that it is. I think it's one aspect that needs to be there, but I don't think it's ultimately going to be the most effective, because we've already have two representatives on the board who, from what I've heard, that they've been pretty much ignored as far as their input. And so I think that, first of all, we need wider student involvement in sort of voicing our opinions on the types of things the types of cuts that Operational Excellence wants to do and where they're targeting people. But that also we need to stand up and say that we're against the privatization of the UCs in general, and that Operational Excellence has stated that their purpose is to decrease their dependence on state funds, which sounds to me pretty much like a really nice way of saying becoming a private institution, or moving towards becoming a private institution. And so I think that we need to stand unified on that in general, so that we don't reach a level in which a student voice on Operational Excellence becomes fighting for resources, and one group is getting cut and another group is like, eventually we're all going to be feeling the effects of the cut, but I'm really concerned about the possibility for factionalism and sort of fighting against each other to get resources that we all need.
Okay, well, I have a couple of ideas about operational excellence, increasing student involvement. I definitely don't agree with a lot of what operational excellence is doing, and I think a lot of students feel affected by some of the decisions that are being made, and some of the decisions that are still to be made. One, I think it's important to, I understand that there's a couple of, committees that already have a few students on there, but I think it's important to really open it up and bring administration to the students, so that they can explain and inform us of what's going on and what decisions have to be made, what decisions have been made, and then at the same forum really have an opportunity for students to engage with the administration, especially when they have particular concerns on a different department, different student services that are being threatened. So I definitely think that's important. Another thing that I will do is make sure that any position that opens up for students to sit on any particular committee, making sure that those are publicized, because it's important. I think a lot of it is that we don't know how to get involved, and we don't know what committees are open, what committees are open for students. So I think that's important as well, to really hit on getting that publicized. I also think it's important because operational excellence is kind of sort of a result of the state cutting the funds, and I really think it's important to increase that student voice on the legislator level, and really making sure that they hear students, particularly here at Berkeley, because operational excellence is a Berkeley thing. But I plan on working with whoever our external affairs vice president will be, and really attempting to increase that voice, so that our governor and our legislator aren't continuing to take funds away from the UC system and all public education system.